Hey, you beautiful beings. Welcome to Empowered Human with Nina Garcia. I am your host, and you are listening to the throwback episodes. Yeah, I have officially taken a pause on creating new episodes for the podcast so that I can focus on writing the book. It became very clear that while I have loved doing the podcast, I'm getting these episodes out every week to you all piecemeal. I was like, no more, no more. You all were like, please, please, can you get us all those skills and tools, Nina, in one area so that we can do the empowered human journey, so that we can really see what it's like from start to finish, to which I say, yes, absolutely. Let me get this to you. Yes. So what you're going to be hearing is this. You're going to be hearing throwback episodes from all 6 seasons, okay? It's not going to be every episode, so don't freak out on me yet. But it is going to be some of the episodes that were highlighted, that were popular, that we think, maybe you all missed and we want to bring it back. You're going to be hearing throwback episodes, and I am going to be listening along with you. I too want to hear about the journey and experience the journey that I had as we moved from Triggered Can We Play With That, the original podcast, all the way to Empowered Human with Nina Garcia. So you're going to hear personal stories. You're going to hear interviews. You're going to be given skills in every episode. Yes, you're going to be given tools in every episode for you to become skilled in. It is totally up to you whether you want to listen. If it's not the episode for you, skip to the next week, right? You just take what works for you, leave what doesn't. And if there's some stuff you're curious about, why don't you just go ahead and put that on the shelf? The podcast has always been about putting resources in the hands of people without needing to pay for it, right? And so this is no different. Even with these throwback episodes, what you're going to hear is this. We're going through, just as I said, you're going to still hear me talk at the beginning of each episode, letting you know, hey, we've had a transition. You're going to hear the original intro to the episode. You're going to hear the show music, and then you're going to hear the full original episode. This could mean that dates are off, that times are off, that people are talked about, that may no longer be in our lives, right? Just be aware of that. At the very end of the episode, you're going to see this face again come back to remind you that it was a throwback episode and to maybe offer you some adventure challenges as you move from week to week, right? Though the format of the episode did change over the years that we've done this podcast, the value is still there. So if you like something, definitely hit me up on Instagram at dramatherapist Nina and be like, Nina, I love that throwback episode about XYZ thing. Yes, fill in the blank with that. Let me know. And if there's something that you're looking for in the meantime, also hit me up on Instagram at dramatherapist Nina and let me know. Otherwise, stay curious and enjoy the ride, folks. I'll be right along there with you. Welcome to Empowered Human, the dramatically playful podcast that invites you to heal humanity, the one within you, me, and the world at large. I'm your host, drama therapist, empowerment specialist, and not to mention empowered human, Nina Garcia. And I'm so stoked you're joining me on the journey. Every Wednesday, you are invited to explore transforming from powered to empowered with genuinely human stories of courageous existence, healing from invalidation, and truly belonging to you. So wherever you are on the spectrum, from empowerment curious to empowered human ambassador, this podcast is designed to humanize. Get ready to lean into your edge, heal your worldview, and finally belong to you. This is Empowered Human. Hey you, Nina here, and I'm curious. Can we play with pulling rank on our inner wolf pack? I know that sounds really metaphorical, and I promise you that I will explain it, but I want to say it again. What we're playing with today is pulling rank on an inner wolf pack. So first, a breath. So many of us know the story, the legend, the myth, the folktale, whatever language you want to use, around the story of the two wolves. And in the different resources that I've looked up, Uh, Many of them tend to agree that it is of unknown origin, but may, in fact, be from the Cherokee people or the Lenape people. And long story short, it is the tale of, often at least, a grandson and a grandfather, and the grandfather is telling the grandson of an inner conflict that is constantly happening, and it's between two wolves. And in some, it's, the tale of one is love and one is hate, and one is light and one is darkness, right? One is this and one is that, right? There's a binary there. And the grandson says, well, grandfather, which one's going to win? Which wolf is going to win in this battle within you? And the grandfather says, whichever one I feed, right? It's whichever one you feed. And so as we're playing today with this idea of two wolves that are within you, and exploring that a little bit more, we're going to expand on it. And so if we're being mindful, which means we're in this present moment and we're looking at the two wolves without judgment, then you and I can agree that one wolf is willing to push everyone and everything away, even at the expense of isolating you in order for you to survive. I repeat, one wolf is willing to push everyone and everything away, even at the expense of isolating you in order for you to survive. That is how important you are to that wolf. And if we flip to the other wolf, then we can agree that the other wolf is willing to pull everyone and everything in, gorging almost, even at the expense of codependency for you to survive. I repeat, that wolf is willing to pull everyone and everything in, just feeding on it, just taking it all in, even at the expense of codependency in order for you to survive. So if you look at those two wolves that are battling within you, and you look at that as an expression of an inner conflict, right? A metaphor for your inner conflict, knowing that when you're triggered, something bigger or older than that moment is what's playing out in your body, then today's episode is going to invite you to lean into the tale of the two wolves and expand it to recognize that instead of there just being the two wolves that we've explored and expressed, right? This one that pushes away and this one that gorges and pulls everything in. What we want to do is expand that to recognize that, in fact, there's an entire wolf pack that's ready to step into the spotlight and feed when it's time. And we do ourselves a disservice if we limit ourselves to this binary idea of there's only yes or no, there's only right or wrong, there's only black or white, when in fact, there is an entire continuum of things, of options at our disposal. And so, if we fail to acknowledge that there is in fact more within us that is capable for fighting for the spotlight in a moment, then whichever wolf is strongest will win, right? Whichever role is strongest will win. And here's the important thing, it will win at any cost. And so if we're not mindful, and if we fail to acknowledge that there is more to us than yes or no, than right or wrong, than black and white, right? If we can in fact acknowledge that there's more, then we can benefit from that. But if we can't, then at any cost means that will include your self-worth. At any cost for you to survive, it will include casting your self-worth to the side, your values, your identity, and your sense of self even. So using this metaphor as we continue, I'm going to tell you a story. This episode is a review of, I believe it's episode 5, How to Pull Rank, right? And I tell the story in much more detail there, but here I want to give it in a nutshell. And I'm not going to curse as I do in that episode because I don't want to have to mark this episode with an E for expletive, something with an E that I can't think of in this moment. I digress. I tell the story of I'm driving in traffic in Houston, and I pull up to a stoplight, and I'm waiting there. My windows are closed. It's just me in the car. I've had a good workout, so my energy levels are stable. And there was a presumably homeless man on the side of the road. That's the role that we're going to cast upon him, not knowing his story. And I'm sitting there at the red light, and he's, asking for money if we have anything. And I look at him and I, mouth and do with my hands, I don't have any cash. I don't have any money. And there is a 0 to 100 trigger for him after I say this. He starts yelling at me, I think you're an effing liar, like the last, 23 people that came through here, and he moves past, and I'm just sitting there like, whoa, this dude just blew up, right? And I'm sitting there at the red light, and even in that moment, seeing his wolves fight, we can imagine the wolf that is willing to push everyone and everything away, right? That part of the pack, even at the expense of isolation, for him to survive, that's what was called up in that moment, right? It absolutely pushed me away, did not make me feel any closer to this person. And so as I'm sitting there at the light and my wolves are within, they're feeling pretty calm, right? I'm not having the one or the other try. I've got the pack there. I can feel the different feelings. I feel a wolf of, maybe the little anger wolf popped up like, that's possible that we could have, but it wasn't triggered. There was nothing really there. A wolf of sadness, a wolf of compassion, a wolf of curiosity, and a wolf of contemplation, right, of pensiveness. And through this pack, right, through this moment that I'm having of the sifting through of the different roles that are present within me, right, these different wolves in our metaphor, and really asking myself, how do I want to address this moment? Who gets the spotlight in this moment? What part of my value system and my self-worth and my identity am I going to express in this moment? Which wolves are going to get the spotlight, right? If we can let them work together instead of just one or the other, how can I let them work together? And the light turns green and a man comes back up, and he's clearly can see that the light is green. I have stood with my brakes on, and he looks at me angrily and gestures to the light and gestures to me, and the light is green, go, right? He's angry still. That wolf is there. It's pushing me away, right? Because at any cost, he needs to survive, and it means I need to go. And instead I look at him, right, with my inner wolf pack, who I have effectively pulled rank on and have made a choice. I have not let them make the choice for me. I have made a choice in this moment to look at him and through the window express to him verbally, it's a credit card world, man. It was honest. It was a truth. I was speaking my truth in that moment. And my pack is calm. And because of this, the man was able to sense a shift in his own internal system. All the pack, the roles, whatever was going on within him, was able to have a shift. And he looked at me, and his hand went to his chest. And he said, I'm sorry. And he apologized. And this wasn't, to be clear, this was not the wolf that gorges and pulls in. He didn't claw at my window and say, I'm so sorry, forgive me for yelling at you, right? No, that's not what we saw. What we saw was a settling of his inner pack in such a way that he could effectively express to me, I see you. I see what just happened here, and I'm sorry. It was such a human moment of being seen for both of us. And so even though there had been between a man and a woman who may never meet again, a rupture, there had also been moments later a repair. Because of a willingness to acknowledge that there is more to us than the moment, that I am more than two options, that I can do more to relate to my neighbor, who I may never meet again and will likely never know his life story, nor he mine. A moment of getting to know and to be seen with a neighbor, and then to move on. C'est la vie, such as life. It keeps going. And so as you ponder the tale of the two wolves and the pack that exists within you and within every human being, I offer you this for the upcoming week. I want to invite you to notice when it feels to you like there are only two options. There's only yes or no. There's only black or white. There's only this alpha wolf or this alpha wolf, and their jobs are to gorge or to completely isolate, right? I want you to see first if you can just notice when those pieces come up. And then I want you to find a moment, whether it's during that moment or directly after you have this realization. I want you to dive in and explore and see what other wolves are available. What other pieces of you are available to express themselves in this moment in a way that effectively acknowledges your self-worth as a human being and also the individual, in a way that empowers your value system as well as empowers the other individual to express themselves in a way that is valued to them, in a way that empowers your sense of identity and your humanity. That is my offering of homework to you this upcoming week. Can you notice your own wolf pack and empower yourself? This is that bonus level now. Empower yourself to pull rank. It's me again, reminding you that this was a throwback episode. I hope that you were able to take something from it, even one little nugget of wisdom, and use that between this week and next week, right? The purpose of these episodes is to give you tools. It is up to you to decide whether you want to become skilled in them. You picking up what I'm putting down? So take a tool, take something, a perspective, a moment, something that works for you, and use it in your life to transform hard conversations into teachable moments, to transform the way that you play with scary moments, right? To transform your life, to help make you the most courageous, most healing-oriented, most belonging person, right? No matter where you go, that you belong to yourself everywhere you go, right? Courage, healing, belonging, whatever it is that you are taking from this episode, take it with you so that you can get out there and live your most vibrant life, you beautiful human being, okay? All right, I'm signing off for now, but you know I'm gonna see you soon, okay? I'm gonna see you real soon. Bye for now. Thank you so much for being willing to explore healing your humanity on Empowered Human. I hope you found at least one new way to transform your worldview from powered to empowered. If you took something from the show, please take a moment of your time and subscribe to Empowered Human. And if it really nourished you, leave us a review. Your feedback helps me understand what our community needs. Not to mention, it helps others discover the empowered human life. So keep this last bit in mind. All the visual goodies come with me on Instagram at Drama Therapist Nina. Stay up to date there on upcoming episodes, behind the scenes goodness, and reels dropping knowledge. Thank you again for being part of the empowered human community. Until next time, stay curious.